The man realized in horror that the water level was dropping rapidly. He instantly knew something was wrong and quickly turned the boat around to leave. Unexpectedly, a massive wave rushed toward him. Mark steered straight into the wave. Seeing the tsunami approaching the Golden Gate Bridge, he accelerated against the current. The angle was so steep that a yacht beside him flipped backward. Just as he was about to reach the crest of the wave, a giant cargo ship appeared right above him. Terrified, Mark swerved sharply, narrowly avoiding the enormous propeller. As they caught their breath, the cargo ship suddenly lost balance. Countless containers tumbled down. Mark maneuvered the yacht desperately to dodge them. They finally reached safer waters, but when they looked back, the cargo ship was lifted vertically by the wave. People on the bridge scattered in panic. The bridge collapsed under the ship's weight, and countless pedestrians were swallowed by the water. Yet the furious sea didn't calm. It charged swiftly toward the city. People in the city fled when they saw it, but human speed is nothing against nature's force. The water devoured them like a beast. An elderly couple watched the raging wave. Knowing escape was hopeless, they held each other tightly. At the same time, the surging wave rushed toward Mark's daughter. She and others quickly used nearby cover and survived the first impact. Mark navigated the yacht through the city streets, frantically searching for his daughter. Suddenly, a beam of light shone from a clock tower. His wife spotted their daughter inside the building, but what they didn't know was that a second powerful wave was already rushing toward the tower. The woman just wanted to sneak into the country, but she ended up stranded in the middle of the ocean. Mia quickly learned how to fish, solving her most basic survival needs. She even put a distress message into a sealed container and threw it into the sea. One night while Mia was outside holding her child, she unexpectedly received a call from her husband. Mia heard her husband's weak voice. He had boarded another smuggling boat, but was discovered by customs and shot multiple times. He called to say goodbye to his wife. She cried, holding the chocolate her husband had left for her. Time passed day by day. Soon it was the 26th day. The water level inside the shipping container had reached its highest point. Mia used the remaining plastic containers to build a simple raft for her baby. While securing the raft, a seagull landed beside her. This meant land was not far away, but the strong water pressure forced open the previously plugged bullet holes. Seawater began flooding in rapidly. Mia tried to block the holes again, but her feet got tangled in a rope. Even worse, her baby was swept into the sea. As water was about to fill the space completely, Mia dove down again, trying to cut the rope. Surfacing, she desperately searched for her child. Then a whale swam past the baby and gently sprayed a stream of water, waking the sleeping infant. Hearing the cries, Mia swam to her baby. They drifted for what felt like an eternity. She threw the remaining fish into the water to attract seagulls. Soon, seagulls were circling above them. This was spotted by a fishing boat not far away. The man quickly started his boat to investigate. They worked together to pull them aboard. They were astonished to see the infant. Then, noticing the attached rope, they anxiously pulled on it, and so Mia was rescued. But she showed no signs of breathing. A woman immediately began performing CPR. It seemed to have no effect. Then the baby suddenly started wailing. The woman continued resuscitation efforts and successfully revived Mia. When Mia came to and saw everything around her, she burst into loud tears. The woman climbed to the top of the hot air balloon, then kicked open the frozen release valve. Next, she crouched down and pulled out a knife. Finally, she wedged her shoe into the valve. The next second, Lisa fainted and began to slide slowly downward. When Lisa woke up again, she realized the safety rope had saved her, but she was now trapped high in the air. She gripped the rope tightly, calling out to Mark in the basket below. But Mark was still unconscious, and her strength was fading fast. She had to get back to the basket soon. Lisa wrapped her legs around the rope, then swung herself back and forth, trying to use momentum to reach the basket. She finally managed to grab the basket's ropes and flipped herself inside. But the crisis wasn't over. Mark was in critical condition. Just as Lisa was on the verge of breaking down, Mark suddenly woke up. As the balloon slowly descended, the temperature gradually rose. Seeing Lisa's frozen hands, Mark took out strong alcohol from a case and carefully disinfected her hands. Just then, snow began to fall. Mark quickly grabbed a bottle to collect it. But soon Lisa noticed something strange. The falling snow seemed to hang in midair. She looked out in surprise. The snow outside was doing the same. Lisa hurriedly pulled the rope connected to the release valve, but instead, she pulled the valve completely open. The balloon began descending even faster. Lisa looked up above. To slow the balloon's descent, they started throwing everything out of the basket. But the speed didn't change. Then Mark noticed the ropes above. They quickly climbed onto the balloon's ring. Once Lisa steadied herself, Mark cut the ropes connecting the basket. As the last rope was severed, the descent still didn't slow. Lisa resolutely climbed to the edge of the basket, ready to sacrifice herself for a chance at survival. Mark quickly stopped her. Then he took out a small knife and cut the rope securing the hot air balloon. The man rolled down the car window, reached out to test the depth of the soil, but a flood of dirt poured into the car. He hurriedly rolled the window back up. Just as Mark settled back in his seat, the sunroof suddenly cracked open. He quickly grabbed some tape, trying to seal the broken glass. Then Mark spotted tools under the seat. He wedged them against the sunroof to hold it. Mark let out a sigh of relief, grabbed a water bottle and drank fiercely. Only then did he remember it was his only water. Mark looked at the last sip left, then gulped it down. Now Mark prepared to rescue himself. After taking stock of his supplies, he turned and suddenly noticed drops of water were dripping from the sunroof. Even though it was muddy, Mark greedily drank it, then used a knife to carve a small hole. He took a bank card and bent it, made a funnel and put it into the water bottle. A simple water collecting device was ready. Mark also pulled a tube from inside the seat, pushed it up through the hole in the sunroof, but the thick soil resisted. He couldn't push hard. Muddy water even flowed back down. He quickly stuffed newspaper into the hole, then used the knife to poke a hole in a bottle cap, tied the cap tightly with string, threaded it through a thin metal pipe. Ready, Mark pushed the pipe upward, but it wasn't long enough. He had to connect more sections with tape, then kept pushing further out. As it went farther, the pipe became harder to move. In desperation, Mark pulled out a jack. With the jack's help, Mark saved a lot of effort, but the jack soon reached its limit. Mark found a towel to cushion his shoulder, endured the pain, and forced the pipe through. He quickly took a wire, pushed it through to open the bottle cap, then leaned in to look. When he saw a faint light at the pipe's end, Mark shouted excitedly, but no one answered. He took the knife and cut the string, then grabbed newspaper and matches, hoping the thick smoke would draw attention. Not realizing, he nearly killed himself instead. The woman bites through the backpack, pulls a wire out from the opening, then straightens it with force, bends one end into a hook. Lisa slowly climbs toward the cliff face. She extends the wire trying to hook the climbing rope. She successfully hooks onto it, but Lisa doesn't let her guard down, carefully reeling in the wire. She grabs the edge of the rope. Once she has a firm grip on the cliffside rope, she looks down at the bottomless drop below, then leaps forward and catches the rock on the other side. After relentless effort, she finally reaches a small ledge. There's a sleeping bag left behind by another climber. Meanwhile, the three criminals have reached the mountaintop. The leader looks down, but sees no sign of Lisa. She is actually right below his feet. The leader tries to reason with her. He says if she hands over their murder evidence, they will let her live. He throws a rope down, but Lisa isn't fooled. She uses the wire to pull the rope toward her, attaches a note to it. Seeing the rope move, the thugs haul it up, only to find a note. The leader reads it. It's a refusal. This enrages the criminals. They decide to wait her out up top. What they don't know is, Lisa has taken the nearby sleeping bag. She fastens the buckles tightly, then hangs the sleeping bag up. As night falls, a makeshift shelter is ready. Lisa quickly crawls inside. She finds some candy to eat, then curls up to sleep. But she doesn't realize, the men above aren't done with her.